Good afternoon. I am Saad Al-Aziz, the owner and head instructor of Semper Fortis Jiu Jitsu here in San Antonio, Texas, and here to tackle this week's question of the week. And the question was, is it okay to be late for class? And the short answer is absolutely. Life happens. For the adult classes, I have class starting at 11:30, and I have class starting at 7 p.m., and sometimes you just can't get here on time. And that's absolutely okay. I still want you to come to class. So, I've had people that, they'll show up 30 minutes late for class, 45 minutes late for class, or, almost miss class entirely and then just make it for the open mat that we do after class. Because after every class, like the 11:30 class, once it ends at 12:30, around, then I start doing the open mat, or for class, at 7 p.m., at 8 p.m. when I end class, I do open mat. And sometimes people can only make the open mat, and that's cool. I have no problem with that. Only time I don't want a person to be late is if they have to borrow a uniform from me. Now, if you have to borrow a uniform from me, and that really only applies to the people that are on the 14-day free trial, I absolutely do not want you to be late. If it happens once, okay, I'm going to work with you. But especially if it's a pattern, I'm not stopping class to come fit you for a uniform. I'm not going to stop teaching the entire class because you couldn't get here on time and then go back and find you a uniform that fits you so you can now participate in class. That's the only group of individuals that I do not want to be late for class. So I even had a guy, he was on a 14-day free trial, and I continued to teach class because I was in the middle of a lesson, and the person was late, and they started clearing their throat, to try to get my attention. And I'm like, oh, dude, I see you there. You're just going to have to wait because I'm not going to stop teaching class because you couldn't get here on time. But if you have your own uniform, you can roll into class. If you're late, not a problem. I'll work with you. But if you need to borrow a uniform from me, I'm not stopping class to accommodate you right away. I'll eventually, find a break in class where they're doing drills to where I can come and help you find a uniform to fit you. But like I said, if you got your own uniform, you come in here 15 minutes late, 30 minutes late, an hour late, I don't care. Of course I would prefer that you're here on time, but life happens sometimes, job, family, traffic, stuff happens. So I want you to come in and train, and I always look forward to seeing your happy faces. Realize that's just a custom from my school. You will go to other schools where that will not be acceptable. I've gone to schools that, throughout my military journey where they are very big on you being on time, ready for class. And I remember one school I trained at, if you was late for class, you had to do 30 or 40 burpees on the side before you could join class. And I don't do any nonsense like that. Other people do whatever they do. Just realize if you go to other schools in your jiu-jitsu journey, a lot of times I got Army guys or Navy or Air Force, who do a couple years here and then they move someplace else. Just realize that the custom that I have of being late for class, not a problem, will not necessarily be the same at your next school. And that's why it's important to talk to your instructor as to okay, hey, sometimes I can't be on time for class. Is that going to be a problem? For me, not a problem, unless you need to borrow one of my uniforms. Then it's it's going to be a problem. But if you got your own uniform, roll on in. If you're late for class, I'm still happy to see you. If you need to borrow a uniform from me, when I find a reasonable break in class, I will try to work with you. But otherwise, that's the answer to this week's question. Is it okay to be late for class? Yes. Is it ideal? No, because you're missing some instruction, you're missing warm-ups. But if you're late, I want to work with you. I want you to come to class and train as much as you can, regardless of whether you're here promptly on time or you're 20, 30, 40 minutes late. I'm still going to work with you. I still want to see you in here training, because the more you're in here training, the better you're going to be, the better your jiu-jitsu journey is going to be, and it's good to see you. So I want people to come and participate. So if you get stuck by the train, if your job holds you up, your family holds you up, whatever happens in life, I still want you to come train. All right, that's it for this week's question. If you got a question for next week, post a comment below, or like most of you do, you just see me in class and you just ask the question, and I will try to make that a video of the week and give you the best answer I can. All right, have a great week. Talk to y'all soon. Ciao.